Hello, everybody. It is Joan here. I wanted to give you an update on Matt. So, yesterday he wasn't feeling so well after Christmas stressors, I guess. Sometimes that's what happens with him. He gets overstressed of everything and then starts to not feel well. And he had a tummy ache, and so I tried different things all day. Mostly, why don't you lay down and try and get to sleep? It didn't work so well. So I kept trying all day on different things that I would give him, or like to help soothe his tummy, um, and different foods that I would feed him, a little different than what he normally eats. A little bit more soup and stuff like that. But anyways, as he as it got to bedtime, he still wasn't feeling good, and a lot of things go on with Matt when he's not feeling good. When he's physically not feeling good, of course, he gets grumpy, and he can handle a broken bone, a broken, crushed shoulder better than he can handle any not feeling well, like headache or stomach ache or body ache. He can handle a broken thing better than that. So he didn't have a fever, so there was nothing like that I was too worried about, but it was just a tummy ache or something. And so by bedtime, I was giving him his bedtime stuff and helping him brush his teeth. And then, as I was standing there with him, he looked like he just went pale, all of a sudden, real pale. And he looked like he was going into a grand mal seizure, and I wasn't sure if it was a grand mal seizure he was going to go into, or if it was um, uh, a focal onset seizure, which is the episodes that I talk about. I just call them episodes because they're easier to understand. He just basically stops doing everything. So he just clenches his jaw and all of a sudden starts making weird noises. So I try to take his toothbrush out because he was in the middle of brushing his teeth, right? And I couldn't get it out right away. So I started like really worrying about, like, my brain was like going all over the place. Like, what if he falls with his toothbrush in his mouth? What if, I can't get this out? And like, you just go through a million thoughts in your head, right? It's amazing how many thoughts you have that you're not even aware of. And so I try to open his mouth. I tell him to open his mouth. And I try and get it, just open enough so I could pull the toothbrush out. And I finally get it out. And, I'm really worried about him. So I don't want him to, because I'm stressed from all day, him not feeling well. And then this. And so I don't want him to see me crying. So I hide behind him because I start just to let it out and release. Whew. Okay, it's just an onset seizure, and which is bad anyways, right? But he's in so much pain from being not well all day, and now this, and you know what can I do? Nothing, right? So I go behind him, give him a hug, and I can feel his heart just racing, which is normal if you've ever experienced, a seizure. Heart rate goes. If it's a grand mal, they stop breathing. If like, they start shaking, they start doing all this. But usually with the onset, it's just noise. So he'll go something like, but he doesn't even move his mouth. Like, it's just like some like weird noises that they make. Well, that he makes, um, and then eventually he'll talk to you, and then eventually he'll like rub his hands or something, right? So I'm hugging him from behind and making sure that he stays up, and just to know that I'm there with him. And then I guide him back to his room and help him to get into bed, and I tuck him in. And then he says that he loves me. He says, "I love you, Mom." And I know that that's when he's in those episodes, that all he can say is, I love my mom, I love my family, I love that's where he goes, which I'm so very grateful, because a lot of times that doesn't happen, right? And I'm grateful that he does, that he comes out of it every time, because that's a scary thought too. So I lay him down, I tell him I love him too, and I explain, okay, you're going to lay down now, we're going to tuck you in, you're going to get some sleep, and then hopefully you'll feel better. So I get him all tucked in, and I put him away, I tuck him in, I watch him, stay with him for a little bit, and then he rests, and I turn off his light for a little sleep, and my husband goes gets other medicine. I didn't give him any oil that time, which I normally do once he gets it, but he wasn't feeling well all day, and I wasn't sure. Actually, I didn't even think about it, but I wasn't sure if the oil would upset his stomach more because it's oil. I'm thinking about making capsules, but that would be harder when he's having an episode anyways. I could have probably put it in something, but then that's even harder to get him to drink something while he's having an episode. I don't know. I'll do some more thought process on that, and I'll let you know what I come up with. But usually that's what I've been doing, is like when he has an episode, I give him the oil, the CBD oil, but I usually don't have a stressful day or stressful week. So my brain is usually on top of it, right? Not yesterday though. He's doing way better this morning. He woke up after I had a good cry. My husband took care of the other medicine that he went to get Matt, and that seemed to help. Matt had a good night's sleep, and then he woke up and he says he's feeling better, so that's good. I took care of him this morning, gave him all his morning stuff, so fingers crossed that he still feels good and everything's gonna work out for him. He's a pretty resilient guy, but I just thought I'd let you know that this is where we are right now. Yeah, today seems like a better day. And when you go through situations like that, I find that I may not always be there, but like sometimes I'll start like kicking my butt, and I'll start like in my own head, and I'll start like, I should be a better mom, or I should be a better person, and I'll start like doubting myself. I'll start like being mean to myself, right? Which I don't do a lot anymore, because I've really been practicing on being a good person to myself. It doesn't always happen, but I was aware of those thoughts this time, and I started saying, all I can do is the best I can do. This is all I know right now, and this is the best I can do. I'm taking care of him. I'm helping him to his bed. I'm tucking him in. I'm making sure he knows that he's loved and taken care of. And then I can do better next time. If I think I can do better in a panic situation, I can figure out a way to do better next time. But all I can do is the best I can do now. And I never did that before. I always allowed myself to belittle myself, and I don't do that anymore. Don't belittle yourself. It is so not good. It's not good. Not at all. So today, love yourself for where you are, because you're amazing. And I love you. Make an amazing day.